How was lunch? Ooh, it was chicken. That is one of our most expensive foods here in Nairobi. So the Amazon Leadership Initiative really cares about you. We really, really care about you. Care about us. Show some care as well by following our social media handles. If you've not, I don't know why you've not, at the Amazon Leadership Initiative. At the Amazon Leadership Initiative, let's have silence. We've started. I told you I'd get you our Wi-Fi passwords, and I remember I'm going to do that right about now. I believe someone is saying now, now, now. All right, are we all settled? Are we re-energized? Are we re-energized? What's the energy we had in the morning? Warm lambes. I believe everyone now knows those wonderful greetings from Kenya. All right, I'm about to introduce a phenomenal woman. She's a diploma IT graduate, the programs manager at Hisia Youth, and a skilled martial arts instructor. Ladies and distinguished guests, give it up for Salma Ali for karate performance. All right. You really love clapping, eh? But you've eaten one of the most expensive meals in Nairobi, so I should hear those claps. Thank you so much. Salva, if you can hear us, are you ready? Okay, I can see her in her attire. And she means business, yeah? She's come with peace, but she means. Thank you, Salma.
Hi, allow me to talk afterwards, okay? Welcome. Oh, did you love it? So, my name is Salma Ali, a young female leader from the Amazon Leadership Initiative. Okay, so whatever I've showcased here, it's I've showcased techniques in a pattern, and my sport is Tong Il Mudo. Most of us don't know it. It's like karate, taekwondo, judo, jiu-jitsu. Now, Tong Il Mudo is a unified martial art. It combines all the styles together. It combines karate, taekwondo, judo, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, tai chi, name them all. And I'm a coach and a founder of All Ladies Martial Arts Academy in Mombasa, Kenya. So if you are around Mombasa, or you have friends or relatives from Mombasa, please tell them to join. I'll leave my contacts. My contact is all over social media. I call myself Salma Ali, so it's all over social media. Please come for training. Let's train self-defense. It's very important. Let's end femicide, especially today in the 16 days of activism. Today we talk about ending femicide. So let's fight against GBV in women. Let's end femicide in Kenya and globally at large. Together we can do this. Thank you.
That was so lovely, Salma. I think I'll consider your classes, your coaching classes for sure. I need to be able to brag and tell people, I know martial arts. All right. I need us to focus our attention to the screen. I'd like to call upon my wonderful sister who will be moderating the Civic Leadership and Management session. She's a young female leader here at the Amazon Leadership Initiative who has a passion for youth and community development. She is a graduate and an alumni for the Future Africa Ambassadors Program, a former writer for Rights for Education Africa, South African Caucus, and she currently serves as a National Support Team Manager for the Youth Citizens Action Program. She's also a law student. Welcome on stage, Shadi Machila. Over to you. Shadi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that. It didn't want to unmute. Hey, technology. But thank you so much, Kishambi, for that lovely introduction. I would just like to start by greeting all of you, my beautiful sisters, as well as our esteemed guests who have shared nothing but immaculate knowledge with all of us. So as Kishambi has shared, my name is Shadi Makila, and I am joining you all the way from South Africa. I actually have one of our fellow the Ali sisters with me here right now as I'm facilitating this session. And I would just like to say thank you to all of you for giving me the opportunity and the courage to do all of this. This wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for you and all your contributions. So in this session, we will be discussing civic leadership. Now, I'm sure some of us are curious about what civic leadership is, so let me give you a bit of a background on what civic leadership is all about. Civic leadership is the act of working to improve the quality of life in a community or country through various means such as advocacy, public service, etc., etc. And to take us through this session, we have the lovely Dr. Hala Hattab, who will be joining us virtually. Now, just to give you a quick background on Dr. Hala Hattab, Dr. Hala Hattab is a renowned associate professor of entrepreneurship with 25 years of experience in consultancy, research, and teaching. A seasoned expert in entrepreneurship. She collaborates with international organizations. Gives and Resource Foundation to foster entrepreneurship and innovation in Egypt and the MENA region, with a focus on women and youth entrepreneurs. Dr. Hattab is a prolific researcher, publishing extensively on the entrepreneurial landscape in Egypt, and has served as program manager for the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, Egypt. She is a dedicated mentor, judge, and an educator who inspires the next generation of entrepreneurs across the MENA region. Now, ladies, esteemed guests, I'm going to need your assistance for this part. Could you all please help me give a warm, welcoming round of applause to Dr. Hala Hattab as she takes to the stage virtually.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Just want to make sure that
yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Hattab.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for this nice introduction. I'm really very glad to be here with you. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm really what an honor to stand before such an inspiring group of young female leaders at the Amazon Leadership Initiative Annual Leadership Forum. I've been following some of the questions and the answers in the chat. I felt like what a real honor to be here with you to address such amazing and inspiring young females. I just would like to begin by expressing my gratitude to the organizers for this amazing and for giving me this amazing opportunity to discuss a topic that resonates deeply with me, which is civic leadership and management. As Ms. Shadi mentioned, I have some background within this area. I have been practicing it, and I hope that I can share some of tips, some of advices, and even to enlarge and expand your horizon and understanding of what do we mean by civic leadership, how we can practice it. The theme of the Black Girls, your dreams are valid, is not just a statement. It's a declaration of the power and potential each one of you holds. It's a reminder that our voice matters. And this is where we can practice the civic leadership. Your vision is needed, your dreams are essential to building a bright future and a more just society, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you and ultimately for your countries. Today, I want to talk to you about how you can harness your power as young females and to become leaders in the civic spaces. Leaders who create legacy that will inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more. So you might ask me, then how can we do this? While we don't have titles, we don't have a title feeders, we are still young females. Some of you are still students, maybe at the university, some of you are still trying to find their way up. How can, and you might question this, how can we become leaders? So let's begin with what do you mean by civic responsibility? Before we say how we can become leaders. The civic responsibility at its core, it's about taking the ownership of the well-being of our societies, to actively participate in the public life of our community in an informed, committed, and constructive manner, with a focus on the common good for everyone, not only ourselves, but everyone around us. However, we are too often look to others, like, for example, governments, officials, activists, organizations, to lead this change. But however, the truth, leadership begins with us. You might be wondering then, how can I, as one person, make a difference? Let me share this story with you, and please excuse me if I'm pronouncing the names in a wrong way. So the story of Miss Linda Lindui Matalani. She's a graduate of a Columbia University in New York and a founder of Aboditas, a tech company. So Ms. Matlani was and still driven by the belief that no child should be left behind by the tech revolution. So her mission was to bring science into children's classrooms, especially the underprivileged children and in particular girls. So this led her to found Africa Teen Geeks, which is in South Africa, which is a social enterprise that teaches children and the unemployed youth how to code and exposes them to computer science and then inspires a future generation of technology entrepreneurs. She did not wait for anyone to do the work on her behalf. She acted. She figured out that those young kids, young girls, they need help, they need support. She put all what she knows in order to help them and to lead them to have a better future. Hence, as I say, the answer of being or becoming leaders, it lies within us by taking small, deliberate actions. And you can volunteer in local projects, whether for a literacy programs for children, a campaign to clean up your neighborhood, or even a health initiative that raises awareness about maternal health or mental health as well. These little actions might seem small to you, to others, but they will create a ripple of positive change that will impact countless of lives. Remember, we as women, we are standing on the shoulders of giants, our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, teachers, and mentors who have led from the front lines of their communities. They did not have titles, they did not hold offices, but they have embodied accountability, transparency, and ethical leadership in everything that they did. Remember this, leadership is not about position, it's about purpose. Ask yourself, what is your purpose in life? What do you want to do? And then your purpose is uplift, think about it, is to uplift, to empower, and build a society where there is no one is left behind. This is how we can become leaders. And as we are moving on about our civic engagement and what does it do, democracy and how we are being practicing and participating in democracy within our countries. We always hear about it, about the importance of, for example, voting, but democracy is not about casting a ballot. Democratic participation is the cornerstone of civic leadership. It's the process by which we citizens, women like you and me, we can shape the policies and decisions that will impact our lives and the well-being of our communities. Why is this important? Because females are prone to face so many barriers like discrimination, lack of access to resources, societal expectations that will limit their potential and tell them you can't be where you deserve to be. I'm sure that each one of us has been there at one point in time where everyone tried to put her down. Hence, women must be at the forefront, whether it's advocating for policies to improve access to education, lobbying for better healthcare, or fighting for climate justice, as just to give you examples. Let's take an inspiration from the hashtag Africa Educates Her campaign, which rallied the AU member states and the key education stakeholders to take action towards ensuring girls continue learning.
Nimetenga, nitafanya kind of person.
Sorry?
For someone who's in a public leadership and management session, shame on me for real. But I'm looking for it. Natenga tunaangalia, we shall get back to you.
I'm sorry.
But honestly, do follow us. We know you're real. You know you're blessed. If you say no, the universe is listening. God is listening. The energy you put out there, you're responsible. We were told today that you're responsible for the energy you put out there in the universe. So I know you're rich.
Oh, excuse me. I don't. I'm sorry. Is anyone talking? Shall I stop? I'm not sure. Shall I stop?
Can you hear me?
Or what do I have to do now?
Dr. Hala, we are listening to you from Nairobi, Kenya. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but someone was talking and I did not know. Shall I stop? Shall I?
Dr. Hala?
Yes. Yes, I hear you well.
Dr. Hala?
Yes.
Kadi Machila,
I am here.
Dr. Hala, hello.
Hello, I'm here. I hear you both.
All right, we are experiencing just a slight technical issue. Everybody online can hear Dr. Hatab. Everybody online can even hear us. However, we're the ones.
Okay, so shall I continue? Shall I continue?
Dr. Halal, we are having a slight problem with sound, but just a while. We are fixing the sound. Everyone online. Yes, I know you guys can hear Dr. Halal, but the people in the room, we couldn't hear Dr. Halal. So we are fixing it so that we can communicate.
Okay, so I wait then before I continue, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please. But we can hear you, and the people online can hear you. All of us online can hear you.
Okay.
Online, but we have, yeah. And she can hear you. She can hear you, yes. But
I continue? Okay.
people here can't hear me.
Okay, so I can continue then. Okay, so I'm not sure, but I'll continue and hopefully that everyone is able to hear me well. So I was talking about, this Africa Educates Her campaign that that urged all the countries to take action towards ensuring girls continued education and learning and re-entry to schools, whether during or post-COVID-19. I'm sure everyone remembers that era. So the campaign has garnered so many responses from education actors, from youth across Africa, and everyone took pledges to act in their communities and areas of influence to ensure girls can return to schools. These women did not wait for permissions to lead. They did not wait for their leaders. They did not wait for their political figures to take their actions. They practiced what we call the democratic participation. They have used their voices and they have claimed their space and demanded an action. Remember, your voice is power, and we have to use it to advocate what we believe in. Again, you might ask, but this is too much for one person. Yes, I do believe I do agree that this is too much for one person. This is too much, like we as females who are ourselves are suffering from a lot of obstacles and hurdles in front of our way. However, change doesn't happen in one night or over one night. Change does not happen while we are sitting in our places, or change does not happen while we are waiting for others to act on our behalf. Just remember this. It happens when we speak up, when we act collectively, and we refuse to back down. This is the core of the democratic participation. And this is where we can be, again, a very active civil leaders within our communities. And with civic leadership, as we are talking about it, there should be, and it's always about championing social justice. At its core, social justice is not about we create a society where it is about creating a society where everyone, regardless of age, gender, race, background, where everyone is having access to equal opportunities. Just let's remember this. It's all about the equal opportunities and resources to have equally our rights and obligations. It's about dismantling all the barriers that are perpetuating poverty, discrimination, and inequality. And guess what? Who are the ones suffer the most from this? Women. As young female leaders, you have a unique perspective and the ability to address lots of systematic inequalities in your communities. Ask yourself, what injustice do I see around me? And I'm sure everyone now, if I just give you a paper and ask you to list the different injustices that you are seeing on daily basis, you personally might not be suffering from it. Maybe you are one of the privileged people who has fought for their own rights and you don't suffer. But around you, there are so many people who are suffering from these injustices. Is it the lack, for example, it could be a lack of quality of education for girls, it could be unequal treatment of women in the workplace, unequal payment. Or sometimes it could be, as we are everyone now sitting and suffering from the climate change. And again, women, research has shown that women are the most being impacted by the devastating climate change on the rural communities. Can you imagine just little things, small, and it's not small anyways, but it's impacting women. So whatever it is, we should know that we have the power to create the change. And there is another story I want to tell you about. Again, I do apologize if I'm pronouncing the names in a wrong way. Maybe Diaspora, an award-winning advocate for girls and women's empowerment. She rallied the support of the Embassy of France in Cameroon to launch the Girls Return to School project, a national initiative that saw Espoir and her team of youth volunteering going around Cameroon and creating awareness about national, continental, and international legal instruments and laws that at the end of the day, it safeguarded girls' rights to education and protected girls against gender-based violence. Just one person, because she believed that the girls are suffering from inequality, she managed to collect a team, she managed to talk to people here and there and raise awareness. You might ask yourself, how can we do this? Every one of you might be asking yourself, maybe was more fortunate than most of us, for example. So what about us? How can we do it? I all the time say, start small, baby steps, by leading initiatives in areas close to your heart. Collaborate with others who share your vision. Like people, I'm sure that within each local
Even
community.
now, I see her trying to fit my whole world into hers to somehow understand, somehow make room for a whole new world, mother. While you are still alive, let me give you your flowers.
And I'm not
I
sure
have no
as
idea
well
how
who's
you did it, but
talking.
I am in awe of
Is
your
someone
strength. When my mother was
talking?
she left her marriage with my father. I am still wondering at the courage of that teenage girl. My mother doesn't tell me stories of when she was a girl. She doesn't tell me who she was before I met her. I wonder if it's because she never had the chance to be a girl.
Shall I continue or what shall I do? Yani, there's someone talking.
At least my children are not where I was. Nimewapeleka mahali, nimewasongesha mahali. I didn't find out my mother was pregnant with her second born until she was about a month old. That woman can hide a whole world in herself, and I am just learning how much that takes. I don't write poetry that has punchlines. I write poetry that breaks your heart.
What's going on?
Asks you to feel the pain because the only way out is through, and you only
Shelly, what's going on?
Poetry begs you to heal. My poetry is a song for my mother, for all the pain she carries within herself, because she'd be damned if a drop of it was to spill to her children. My poetry is a dance to the tune of my grandmother's laugh. Oh, but I have known women of valor.
I'm not sure what's happening. If you want me to leave the meeting, I will leave the meeting. What's going on?
And I never want to be a woman who sacrifices herself. A woman who bears her bones dry, suffocates with all the pain she is holding inside, has mastered how to get through life choking, out of breath, out of air. I never want to be a woman who carries the whole world on her shoulder, but my God, do I honor the women who had to? My God, do I honor their sacrifices? If I can be anything at all in this world, it is because of everything they are. We could only see this far, standing on their bones. So Black Girl, live. Black Girl, dream. Black Girl, hear the voice of your ancestors and every woman who has come before you saying your dreams are valid. Black Girl, understand. There is no mountain you cannot climb. Black Girl, transcend. Black Girl, you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Black Girl, your dreams are valid. Black Girl, you are the light. You are the light on a city that cannot be hidden. So Black girl, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Priska Gitonyi. Back to Dr. Hala Hatab. Dr. Hatab, can you hear us? Dr. Hatab, hello. Okay, Dr. Hatab, we had a technical issue here in Nairobi, Kenya. We couldn't hear anything, but everyone who's joining us online, which is a good number, had everything you said. And I believe you can proceed to the questions. Dr. Hatab. Dr. Hatab, can you hear us?
Yes, I do now, because apparently the admin has muted everyone. Anyways, the poem, it was really good. But it just felt يعني 2 times being interrupted. I totally understand that some technical glitches can happen. Anyways, I just wanted, maybe we can just take a conclude. I really wanted to talk a lot, to mention many ways how we can help our young females to become, to be more of actively engaged. I just want to talk little thing about one last point about the mentorship and its important in the civic spaces, because like mentorship and empowerment are the heart of sustainable leadership. And then usually civic spaces thrive when we have experienced leaders who are sharing their knowledge, guidance, and networks with the next generation. And as young female leaders, mentorship is not an opportunity or a luxury. It is a responsibility. It's something that is very well needed. And advice that I want to give to all our young female leaders who are attending this forum, you have a great opportunity to network and communicate and approach those well-established women and ask them to help you and support you, and even if they have some time to mentor you. Because women, or women who have walked the path that you already wish to take will help you a lot. Today and tomorrow, this is a great opportunity for you, especially that some of the women, when I looked at the agenda, I saw the names of very outstanding, well-established women, and I'm sure that they will be able to help you and to take in your hand. And remember that as well, you need to be a civic leader. You need to mentor others. You need to share your knowledge, you need to share your experiences and your mistakes. And when doing this, you are building a community of resilient and empowered leaders. Mentorship you offer today will shape the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders become better leaders when they are helping other people to become leaders themselves. So it will help you to be more confident. It will help you to be more actively helping and transforming your society. I just want to close by very few remarks. One of them is a story about myself. This is a story to tell you that you should not let anyone put you down. Future is always for those who work hard for their dreams. When I was a young girl, I constantly looked for ways to help others to become, because I dreamed of touching everyone's life. One day, I came across a post inviting youth to participate in a competition through sharing their thoughts on problems they are facing within their societies and propose solutions. I felt that this was the moment I have been waiting for, and so I spent days and nights reading, writing, and so on. But sadly, everyone around me discouraged me, calling me the foolish dreamer. Their words got to me, and I believed them. In the end, I did not send that essay. Can you imagine? This has been 30 years ago. Can you imagine that 30 years later, I still remember this? I still feel the same bitterness. That moment taught me the painful truth of the cost of self-doubt and letting others define my dreams. So it's not only this, but when I began my journey to advocating for women's rights to start their own businesses, I was overwhelmed by all the challenges. But every time I doubted myself, I reminded as well myself of the women who came before me, their courage, their resilience, their unwavering belief in the power of their dreams. That belief carried me through, and it will carry you through. Just I want to remind you that being a civic leader within the rural communities, it's not something that's easy. You will find so many people trying to put you down, some people to discourage you, some people to tell you that you will not be able to achieve it. You might face, I don't want to say more, but you might face so many things. But you need to remember that your power is larger and stronger than each one of those. So to everyone in the room, online, listening to us, your dreams are valid. They are not only just valid, they are necessary for yourself before anyone else. Your dreams have the power to shape the communities. So now it's your time to step on that power, engage, advocate, lead, and mentor, because the world is waiting for you. Thank you so much. I hope that I did not take much time. I'm sorry that for those who were not able to listen to us in the room. So thank you. I'm done. So thank you so much. Yes, always remember that your dreams are valid. Don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are not theirs. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yes.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Dr. Hattab, for all those lovely gems of wisdom that you have shared with us. I know for a fact that I took something away from what you shared with us today. So at the moment, I would like.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you, Kashanti. Can you hear us?
I believe she cannot.
Kashambi,
Okay, we'd lost
can you
you.
guys hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
I do hear you.
Okay, sorry. So at this moment, Dr. Hattab, I would just like to open the floor up for questions to both our in-person audience as well as our So ladies, do any of you have any questions that you would like to ask Dr. Hala Hattab? And at this moment, I'm going to need some assistance from our sisters, our fellow facilitators, to help move the mic around and also to note down some of the questions that are asked in the chat box. Okay, since I think people might be a bit shy.
There's a question, Shadi.
Thank you so much, Divine. Over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia Asienwa. I am a civic leader, well built in the spaces. I work in the education spaces as an advocate of quality education for children from marginalized communities and from informal settlements and vulnerable backgrounds. And one of the challenges we've had working in those spaces is being able to make people understand that education is a right that should be accessed by all the children, regardless of their socio-economic background. I've drafted petitions to the government of Kenya through the change.org platform to petition the government to be able to streamline education, to make it accessible even to the children of peasants and farmers in the villages. But then when you reach out to the decision makers, they're not able to understand why you are advocating for that, because for them, their children go to posh schools, and so they do not understand the situation in our local schools. And also as a woman working right now on ending femicide and gender-based violence in these 16 days of activism, I've done a lot of media engagements in TV stations, just creating awareness for people to know that you do not have to kill women for you to ascertain your masculinity as a person. So there's so many things I'm working on, but the feedback you get from people is that, what do you get from this? Because working in the civic spaces, you give more than you receive. Actually, you will never be able to receive. So part of the things that that are a drawback for some of us who work in the civic spaces is, what do you gain from that? Even before you get to the point where you'll now be able to receive funding from donors, before you get to them, you're the person who will be funding your work, you're the person who will be getting into your pocket to be able to do the kind of work you do. So maybe I just want them to clarify, as a civic leader, how best can you do your work? How can you close up your ears? Because most of the time you're told, just close your ears and focus on the work that you're doing. Otherwise, thank you so much for that session. It was eye-opening, and now we know better on how to approach these things. Thank you.
So thank you so much for your question. I think this is the real struggle, by the way. You know, how can we, for example, shut our eyes, make that we pretend that we haven't seen, we pretend that we don't know, because of all the different challenges that we are facing. So let's remember, us being in the civic leadership and being or fighting many things. This requires courage. And it requires that we need to keep our eyes open, and it needs that we need to remain involved and do our best. The real challenge comes when we talk money. You know, numbers are very important in the case of like especially leading social enterprises or maybe leading social initiatives, because that we know that investors will be looking for return on investment. The government, maybe they have different priorities. So it is not easy, and no one has promised you to be easy. However, we need as well to think of how can we create like a money stream that comes into the business. Maybe, you know what, this is one of the issues as someone who teaches and who works with entrepreneurs. This is one of the core issues that I always face when people think that money is not important. No, money is important. We need to change as ourselves. We need to change our perception of the way how we are delivering and we are involved in these civic initiatives. Thinking about how we can use it, or maybe just let me rephrase it in this way. Many people, when they start social initiatives, they feel that everyone needs to help them and support them, okay? The wrong thing is we are waiting for help from others. So usually one of the things that I advocate to think how we can commercialize some of our operations in order to be able to generate enough money to help us do our activities. As we know, the world is full of so many problems, so many issues, many people are involved. So we need to take an action. One of the actions that we take, I remember one of the females that I've been working with, she started an initiative to clean the Nile, okay? Where, Nile is full of plastic, full of so many things. So when she was counting on people to give her grants, to give her funds, but it never happened. So what she thought of, if I want to have money to carry on with my activities, why not, for example, to have kind of lucrative activities, meaning to maybe organize retreats for companies to come to bring their employees. So rather than taking them to a retreat in an hotel or where they can spend some fancy time, why not to bring them to the Nile where they can participate in Nile cleaning and they will pay me some money in order to spend it on the business. See, this is the way. I think we need some kind of mindset change towards what we are doing. This is one of the ways I think might help a lot in overcoming the burden of securing funding. I hope this answered your question.
Shukran, Dr. Hatab. Thank you so much for that insightful answer. This is Divine all the way from Nairobi. So, Dr. Hatab, we have a pleasure. We have 2 more questions from our participants online. I'm going to just ask them to unmute. First up is Hopotso Radebe, who has a question for you. She's online. I will give her the chance to unmute and ask her question. But please, before you answer her, Right after her, let's listen to the question of Namasiku Lisa. So you can listen to both questions and then answer them at the same time. I hope that's okay, Dr. Hatab.
Sure.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Khopotso Khatebe. I am a non-profit founder. I advocate for women and children, and I am a civic leader. What I would love to ask Dr. Hala Hatab, thank you for sharing your story. It's very inspiring, and being a woman, I believe that the work that we do within the civic space, to a certain extent, is an extension of our purpose in this life. And how do you find the balance of, giving too much of yourself, and basically, how do you work around building relationships, such as being coached, being mentored, and in order for you to be replenished and not give too much of yourself within the space of work that we do? Thank you.
Thank you. Can we take the second question so that I can answer both?
Hello, everyone. My name is Namasiku Lisa. I'm from Zambia. And I have a question for Dr. Halal. From what I've noticed or observed in society is that no matter what you do, there will always be people to criticize what you do, or people who are just against your work. And how best do you handle criticism, especially in male-dominated fields? When you're working with so many males and you are like a female who's trying to stand up for a certain goal, how best do you handle criticism? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, unfortunately, I could not hear the question well because of the echo. There has been a huge echo while you were talking. So if I'm clear how I can balance, or how can I stand up for myself when people are forcing me to take certain decisions? That was it? This is what the question?
No, I'm asking, can you
Because
hear
of
me?
the echo, there is a huge echo, so I'm not able to hear well.
Even now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me try to.
Maybe if you wrote it in the chat, I will read it and I'll answer it. What do you think? Okay, write it in the chat. I will read it and answer it. All right. Thank you so much. So the first question about how we can balance. So let's remember this, okay? So I really like the idea that being engaged in helping and supporting the society is an extension of our purpose in this life. So this is really, you said it all. This is an extension. This is like, we cannot be fully, let's say it, we have been here on this planet to help and support and be for others, that we just not like step back and lay down and say that this is not my issue, this is not my responsibility, etc. This is totally wrong, and we should not, personally, I think that we should not keep this in our mind. However, when we're trying to give other people, when we are engaged with them in different activities, we feel that we are losing ourselves, especially like if certain initiatives. For example, I remember when I was working with some females who were trying to start their own businesses out of necessity because they could not find a proper source of income. They were suffering from gender-based violence, and they're trying to to escape all this situation. I remember when I was working with these women, I was totally immersed in their experiences. I was totally like, I will be going home thinking about what are the things that they have been facing and how miserable they are and all these things. At that moment, I realized that I was more sympathizing with them rather than helping them. So because I just wanted to feel their pains and to feel their emotions, and I got paralyzed myself. I was not able to do anything for them because of being this totally immersed. And here I decided that okay, they really need someone to help, to sympathize with them. They need someone to feel emotional with them. But as well, they need someone to lead the way. They need someone to help them find that solution. Here, where I give myself like an alarm, it's like a red flag. You need to stop here because you're not doing them good and you're not doing yourself good as well. So you see here, so that was the alarming because like if I'm doing myself good while not doing them good, it's okay. Well, and if I'm doing them good and I'm not doing myself good, it's okay. But the end result that I was not doing good to any of us. So here, then when I decided that I need to stop, I need to start balancing. Maybe I need to start draw my lines. What do I have to do? Where do I need to stop? Because you know what? In your life, you are not only committed to help one group of people. You are not only committed to help one person or two persons, etc. Blacks, you are committed continuously to help other people and to support those people. So you need to be able to balance, to draw the line. To what extent do I need to be engaged with those people, especially when it comes to emotional? One of the things that really, and I always believe in, always surround yourself by people who are able to help you, people who are able to listen to you. We have been talking about mentorship just right now. Go to your mentor. There is nothing wrong. I am at my age. I have mentors. I have friends. I have people who at least I can share and ask and seek advice from them. So this is why, practicing the things on others, I practice it on myself. So if I want to mentor others, I personally go and seek mentorship from other people and ask them for support, for help, etc. Maybe we are, for example, I can talk about myself, okay? Because of who I am after all these years being PhD holder, etc. So I got to build some connections. This is as well, I can extend to my connections and ask them, can you help me? Can you extend, we need support here, we need support there. And this is a way how we balance it. And let's remember one thing, balance is one of overrated things. We cannot balance. People dreaming of balance and balance will not happen. But we know where, today or this week, we are focusing on this. The other day, I need to focus on myself. I need to give myself space as well. So to able to recharge and to listen. And one of the reasons why I am here today is because I felt that I haven't been talking to young females for some time. I have some thoughts that I wanted to share with them. The other weeks, for example, I'll be too busy doing other things or maybe helping people on ground. So you see how we can strike the balance. It's not something that we do on daily basis. It's not like this is the only thing that we need to think about. We just need to play around it. Again, this has to do with our power. We need to work on ourselves. We need to nurture our emotions. And then this is how we can reach to a certain balance. I hope this has answered your question. I just would need the question, how best do you handle criticism, especially in a male-dominated field? Because no matter what you do in this world, you will always face criticisms. I do agree with this question 100%. Yesterday, I was online for the Global Entrepreneurship Week. I have been sharing pieces of my mind, pieces of my thoughts, etc. And then I found this mail to say, but you know what? What you're saying, it's not correct. Who said that what I'm saying is not correct? Based on what? There is in this slide, there's no one clear right answer for every question. Okay? So when I was younger, this would have get into me. I would feel, oh my God, maybe I'm sure that I have said something wrong. Maybe this had, I was not mentored properly when I was young. This is why I say that your generation is way luckier than my generation. You are more exposed now. You are more resilient now. You are having, such kind of forum that you are having right now. This is supposed to empower you. Okay? So I remember when I was young, when anyone would criticize me, I would doubt my self-worth. Now, if you tell me, in face, you're doing wrong, I will feel, I don't do wrong things. This is where we, again, stand up for yourself. And one of the ways how you can help yourself, be knowledgeable. So that guy yesterday, when he was doubting what I was saying, maybe it was wrong, but I was knowledgeable enough on the topic that I was talking about to extent I could go arguing with this person. Knowledge is power. And whenever you are knowledgeable and you are self-confident, no one will get into you. Criticism will happen, by the way. It could be male, it could be females, it could be your colleagues, anyone, like sometimes we criticize ourselves. So shall we just be emotionally drained and feel bad about it? No, which is okay. That was a criticism. Let's learn from it. I hope that answered your question as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hala Hattab, for those insightful words you just shared with us. Honestly, judging from what is being shared in the comments, I believe that it is safe to say that we would all love to sit here for so many more hours and just drink from your well of wisdom. But unfortunately, time is not on our side at the present moment. So I'd just like to take this time to thank you so much for being here and for sharing your knowledge with us. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate the time you've taken to spend with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Hala Hattab.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed being here, all the questions. I just want, even after we're done, I just want to read all the questions. I'll try to answer some of these questions in the chat while you are moving on with your session. But thank you so much for inviting me and for being part of this amazing panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And ladies, I hope that you all took something from what Dr. Hattab has shared with us. I hope that we will take all of these lessons and we will implement them and create and become the sustainable change makers that we are all meant to be. So at this moment, I would just like to take this time to say thank you for the time that you have given us. And I would like to hand back the mic to our beautiful hostess with the mostest, Kashambi. Kashambi, back to you.
Machila, do you know I'm a words of affirmation person? Don't do that to me. Thank you so much, Dr. Hattab, for taking time and being a change maker. Thank you so much, Machila, for that insightful session. Now listen, we're commemorating 16 days of activism, and that started on Monday, the 25th, this Monday that's passed. It is said that every woman above the age of 20 has experienced some form of gender-based violence. We have a couple of activities to commemorate this. And I'd like to call upon our Amazon Leadership Initiative Administrative and HR Associate, Mary Ukoli, to lead this session. Mary. No, I want to go to school. I don't want to get married to someone who is twice my age or even more. No, I have dreams. I have visions. I have ambitions. There are young women who are doing so much more, and I want to be like them. This is my house, my birth to you, and you will listen to me. As your father, I'm telling you that you're going to marry that man. A lot of young girls across Africa currently face. Good evening, everyone. Black child. Black child. Thank you so much, Gachambi, for that introduction. We're here to basically talk on what we understand by gender-based violence, the different forms of violence, as we commemorate the 16 days of activism. Because the idea is that by 2030, the cases of gender-based violence is a lot more reduced. And how can that happen? It can only happen if we have more young people who are more aware about gender-based violence. Because if you're not aware, there's no way you can stand against it, right? Oh, we are tired. I know, but give me some energy because I would be hearing from you a lot more. All right, so just a few things about the 16 days of activism. It was originally started in 1991, and as of 2008, the United Nations Secretary General launched the campaign Unite. So next year, we'll be having the Unite conference to say that by 2030, would put an end to gender-based violence. So we've been able to highlight some topics that we want to discuss. And the first thing is, what is gender-based violence? So I'm going to give it back to you. I want us to talk, both those online, those at the viewing centers. We want to hear from you. My sister Buntley, she would be coordinating those online and on the viewing center. So if you understand what is gender-based violence, please raise your hand and we'll give you the mic. Please feel free. Please give her the mic.
Hello, I'm Laura. Gender-based violence is simply discriminating someone solely based on their gender.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay.
Hi, my name is Charity Mokweri. To me, I would describe gender-based violence as being abusive emotionally or physically or any other way that incriminates the other person or maybe puts the other person down, irregardless of gender.
Thank you so much. It shows that, some of us, we understand what this means. And how do people now get involved? Because together we're in a relationship, either as friends or as family. It means we need to have, or we have either healthy relationships or unhealthy relationships. So I want to hear from you. What do you think, or what are the characteristics of a healthy relationship?
Open communication.
Correct. Open communication.
Healthy conflict resolution.
Exactly. Healthy conflict resolution. You should be able to resolve conflicts amicably.
Healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries. Amazing.
A partner that is emotionally available.
A partner that is emotionally available. Exactly. True. Do we have any answers from the online people?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Okay, now what are the characteristics of unhealthy relationships?
Deep insecurities.
Sorry, come again?
Deep insecurities.
Deep insecurity. It is so unhealthy for you to be in a relationship where the person is so insecure. It breeds so much more. Thank you so much for that beautiful answer.
Disrespect.
Disrespect. Awesome. Do we have another answer? Those online?
Poor communication.
Poor communication. Correct. Great. So we now understand what it means to have a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship. As young people, it is very important that when you see that your relationship with someone is becoming sour and is becoming unhealthy, you should speak out. You should speak out or call the attention of the other person. You need to be aware of yourself for you to know that this relationship I am in with my friend, it is unhealthy. Are we good? Awesome. So now let's talk about consent. The viewing center, the Uganda viewing center, do we have anyone that can tell us what consent is? Any of the viewing centers?
Maybe if the South African viewing center can unmute themselves and just give us a quick explanation of what they think consent means. South Africa Viewing Center, are you able to hear us?
The Lesotho, the Namibia, the Nigerian. Okay, I don't think we have anyone.
Or maybe let's start with Tatenda Michelle, who has her hand up.
Okay.
Hello, ladies. My name is Takunda Michelle Gutsa, and I'm from Zimbabwe. So basically for me, consent is allowing certain things to be done or certain things to happen. Like you are in accordance with what is supposed to happen. You are not being forced into doing things, or you're not being compromised, or you are not being compromised. Yes, you're not being compromised to do something that you don't want to do, but you are giving consent and you are agreeing to do whatever people want to do with you. Thank you
so much, Tatenda. Do you have any other response before we continue? All right, so we understand that consent is freely given. And one thing you should also understand is that consent is reversible. Because it is freely given, you can say, at this point, I do not want to go ahead with this anymore, right? Are we good? Awesome. So let's also talk about the different forms of gender-based violence, right? So the floor is back to you again. Let's hear the different forms.
And let's also get a few hands in the online community, maybe a few emojis to describe what you guys think.
Yes, so I see a comment here that says, I don't think it pertains to sexual activity only. Yes.
That's a great example. Any hands in the room?
Physical violence.
Physical violence.
We have economic violence.
Correct. Another person.
We have forced marriages.
Forced marriages. Harmful practices.
Intimate violence.
Intimate violence.
Yeah, I also think it can be emotional in the sense that you're being gaslit, yeah, and things like that.
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies. So now, gender-based violence can come in these different forms that you have just explained. It either comes physical, hitting, beating, in your friendships or relationships. You should be able to have conversations and resolve them amicably, right? You shouldn't resort to violence. And then sexual, you have rape, harassment, exploitation. Now, it is important for you to know that you own your body. Either as a male or as a female, you own your body. And you can actually give consent to anyone if you want to. Not because you are being coerced to, not because your parents are saying that you have to do this because we need money. No. Because you want to, right? And then emotional and psychological, gaslighting, verbal abuse. Now, this one happens almost everywhere. In your homes, in the offices. And I know that even some of you do it. But from today, don't gaslight people. I'm serious. Some people are very fragile when it comes to words. When they hear your words, they get so emotional. You do not want to put down another person. You do not want to put down another girl or woman, just because you do not care, right? So are we in agreement that from today, we're not going to verbally abuse anyone or even gaslight people when they make mistakes? Are we agreeing to that?
Yes.
Are we agreeing to that?
Yep.
Awesome. And then you have economic, which is the financial control or deprivation. And that is one thing that, we constantly preach, especially with our business leadership and management sessions, that as young people, as young women, it is important for us to have something that we do. It is important for you to have a skill. Because when you have something that is giving you money, when you have something, that you can always fall back to, it is so hard for anyone, to put you under their control.
right? Those online, are you with me?
Maybe let's just hear from the Uganda Viewing Center as well to give us a few thoughts.
All right. And finally, we have harmful practices. So we have the female genital mutilation. Oh,
There's a hand. We have Bridget, and then first it's going to be Bridget to tell us her thoughts on the conversation, and then we'll have the Uganda Viewing Center. Let's start with Bridget. Bridget, are you able to hear us? Bridget, are you able to hear us? Okay, maybe let's start with the Uganda Viewing Center first. Please unmute yourselves, guys.
Can we be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello from Uganda. My name is Nora Iara, and I would like to share on some of the forms of gender-based violence. And I think for me, the forms that really stick out and are very common in our society is the psychological abuse, where you find so many young people, especially young people who are not very knowledgeable about their rights and about these things. You find that they are inflicted in certain practices that they would have not gone into, but because of the economic statuses of African communities and that lack of knowledge, so many people experience gender-based violence without actually knowing that they're going through it, and especially the psychological form. So you find, even in universities, students will be forced into drug abuse because they don't really know that they can actually say no. Yes. Thank you.
End up doing that. Thank you so much for that wonderful example. We're just going to move over to Ruthie as well to give us her thoughts. Ruthie, please share with us.
Hello.
Hi, Bridget.
Hello. Hi. So my name is Bridget Gake from Kenya. And for me, I would say that gender-based violence, it's not just a gender issue, it's a society issue because it's a violation to human rights. And both we women and men do experience gender-based violence. And through these 16 days of activism, we as young leaders should stand at the forefront to fight this violence, which comes in different ways: physical, emotional, economical, cultural, such as FGM and early marriages. You can find that so many men are impregnated, are getting so many young girls pregnant. That is gender-based violence because you're violating the rights of these young girls and they'll not be able to study because they'll have to take care of kids. So we as young female leaders should be able to stand at the forefront to fight gender-based violence. And I have a 2-paragraph poem that I'm not going to perform, but I'm going to read it for you guys that I wrote of gender-based violence. Hello.
Thank you so much for that lovely response, Bridget. I absolutely appreciate the practical examples that you've given. Mary, are there any other forms that maybe we forgot to mention to everyone?
No, we've pretty much mentioned all of them. Yes, we've pretty much mentioned all of them. This is us also trying to explain so that people understand, the different forms. And then I want to highlight on the fact that gender-based violence at your workplace is very prevalent, especially in Africa. And it is important for people to know that because you work at a certain place does not give you the right to violate me, either abusive words or by actions. Because a girl works in a hotel as a hostess does not mean you have the right to speak to them in a very abusive manner, right? So people should be able to respect boundaries, irrespective of where you find me. You should also respect me. And I want us as, young female leaders, let us all be champions of, standing against gender-based violence, because if we have you championing that cause, it means that those around you, your circle, they will have an influence. They'll be influenced. And that's what we say, where we say it trickles down. So it trickles down to the very smaller communities. If all of us stand together and say no to gender-based violence. We would have continued these sessions because I know a lot of you have so much to say, and even your stories, because statistics even says that in 10 minutes, one woman is being killed. Yes, that's around the world. You see how bad it is. It's very bad. And I know that if I open the mic to a lot of you, you have stories to share. But what I want you to do is that on your individual basis, online, speak about this thing so that people know, right? With more people being aware, we'll have a reduced number of women being abused. So let's take this pledge. So in commemoration of the 16 days of activism and also the Beijing Plus 30 that is coming up, I, Mary Okoli, stand against all forms of gender-based violence. Thank you. Black child, your dreams are valid. Indeed, education is power. Thank you so much, Mary Okoli, for that. I believe that everyone in Kenya knows that you have a nationwide march on the 10th of December on GBV. Are you going to show up? All right, see you there. See you there. Please, let's keep this conversation going. Remember, our hashtags are @TheAli LF24, as well as Black Girl, Your Dreams Are Valid. Oh, thank you for singing with me. You might be wondering why I'm so insistent on social media. It is because, fun fact you might not know, in the media house, when you see a presenter, they're doing other jobs behind the scenes. So part of what I do is I am part of the digital department. I basically do what Nurat does for the Amazon Leadership Initiative. That's why I'm helping her in her department, right? Okay, I'm sure we've learned a lot today. Have we learned a lot today? Tomorrow will be better, I promise you. Kindly share the lessons you picked up, tag us on social media, at the Amazon Leadership Initiative on all social media platforms. Sawa sawa. I've seen you taking a lot of content, especially from TikTok, and some of you are very big on TikTok. Please tag us on your posts. Don't be selfish, okay? All right, now, I'd like to call upon representatives from our viewing centers. I hope you can hear me, our sisters online. Our sisters from various viewing centers, that is Lesotho, South Africa, Nigeria, Namibia, and Uganda. Can you hear me? Yes. We'd like to, you can hear me from there. Yes. Right. We'd like to have a representative from each country to share some feedback on the lessons they've learned. Maybe we can start with South Africa. Zimbabwe, we hear you. Oh, that's Nigeria. Okay, who is ready? Okay, Uganda. Let's go. Uganda, can you hear me? Uganda Viewing Center. Yes. Okay, they can. Yeah. Let's see to hello. Uganda is connected. Uganda, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's go.
Hello.
Uganda, we're waiting for a representative from the viewing center to share feedback on, things they've learned today, lessons they've picked up. Uganda? Do you have a representative?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Greetings to all our distinguished guests and all of them. Greetings to all our distinguished guests. Get your work. Greetings to all our distinguished guests, colleagues.
Uganda, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening at your viewing center. We can barely hear you here in Nairobi, Kenya.
Hello. Greetings to all our distinguished guests, colleagues, and representatives. I'm representing the Viewers Center of Uganda. My name is Boji Patra Leon. Are you hearing me? It's truly an honor to deliver the closing remarks in relation to the Amazon Leadership Initiative. My heartfelt thanks goes to the organizers, the speakers, the participants for their dedication and contribution. And throughout the initiative, we have explored the different themes: the business leadership, management, public leadership, and civic leadership, which reminds us that leadership is about the action, the collaboration, and the impact as we live, I encourage everyone to apply all the lessons that you've picked out from this session that we have been having. The take-off quote that I would give is that never dim your light. That was the most distinguished word that I picked out the most, due to the fact that most of the time ladies are undermined in different organizations. So I believe that through this 16-day activism, I implore you to take all the lessons that you have acquired through this forum, to put them into practice in your communities, in your workplaces, stand for what is right, and let's promote justice in all our communities. Thank you.
A round of applause for Uganda. Thank you so much, Uganda. Lesotho, are you ready? Lesotho, we can see you.
Yes.
All right, we can see you already. Go ahead.
My name is Mpasha Lele from Lesotho. I would like to maintain the protocol that has been observed. We've learned a lot from the yearly leaders initiate the Amazon Leadership Initiative. I've learned that about public sector leadership and civic leadership, and that also about governance and public leadership. And I've understood that true leaders are the ones that take the primary role to lead people. And I believe all of us here in Lesotho, we are all going to start being the leaders, like we're going to start to be the primary leaders, because I believe that we are leaders. It's just that we need something to tap into us in order for us to unleash our powers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lesotho. Nigeria, good afternoon. Good afternoon, oh. Nigeria, I can see you. We can see you. Nigeria, don't ignore us. Nigeria, can you hear us?
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rita Laikmon from Nigeria Brain Center. So let's learn so far from the annual leadership forum for young female leaders. So from the first session,
Nigeria,
public leadership and management. That's for you to be a public leader, constituency or community that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So as a leader, you have to be innovative, and to be a leader, you have to be in a position. It starts from within. You have to be a self leader before you can lead others. Then on the section of the gender. Can you see us?
Yes, we can hear you, Nigeria.
Okay, in summary, so as a girl child, your color or your gender should not limit you. You have aspirations, so go for your dreams, and also don't listen to people's opposition about how far you can go. So if you listen to their opposition, you might lose your position. So you have to stay focused as a girl child, and your dreams are valid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nigeria. Namibia, are you there? Oh, Namibia is not there. All right. South Africa?
Hi, my name is Nokuwonga Zondo. I'm from the South African Viewing Center. What I've learned today in this forum is that no matter what background you're from, you can achieve anything. And in the business sector, networking can really help your business grow more and learn more from other people and what experience you can learn from them.
Thank you so much, South Africa. A round of applause for them. I've seen someone asking online if they can represent Malawi. And because time is not on our side and we really pride ourselves in keeping time, we're very particular on this event ending at 5 p.m. Remember, keep this conversation online. We can have this conversation online. Malawi, unfortunately, we do not have time today, but let's talk online. Let's talk online at the Amazon Leadership Initiative. The hashtags are the AliLF24, as well as Black Girl, Your Dreams Are Valid. I have really sung that today. Yeah, I have a feeling I'll dream saying that. All right, I'd like to call upon our social media and engagement associate here at the Amazon Leadership Initiative and my lovely sister, and one of the person, or rather the lady who's led the team that ensures we are on the digital spaces and that we were online today. That is none other than Nurat Wamaya for closing statements.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? How you feeling? You're feeling good or hungry or nice? I'm also feeling energetic, and mine is to just give a vote of thanks and thank you all for being here today. And I know we talked with some of you in the morning when we found you here. Some of you came really early. You came even before the media team, and kudos to you. So I wrote my speech. A special thanks goes to our distinguished guests and speakers for today, Dr. Anne Kamau in absentia, Her Excellency Stephanie S. Sullivan, and Professor Jesang, also who sent a representative, also Miss Lenora Kellen, and Miss Abiola Ido Oju, who was joined us online, and Chelsea Belsagan, Miss Chelsea Belsagan, Miss Hala, Dr. Hala Hatab, and Miss Anita Nyanjong for all their insightful and expertise that they shared with all of us. Some of you had the chance to ask questions, and if you did not get the chance to ask questions, tomorrow is the day, so come as early as you did today, and you'll be able to ask questions much more than you did ask today. We also want to thank our wonderful guests, other guests who graced our event. We had Wamboi from Wakili Dada. Wamboi, are you still in the room? Or representative from Wakili Dada? Are you still in the room? All right, but they were here with us today. Representative from the Adolescent Girls Movement Kenya branch. Are you still in the room? Adolescent Girls Movement Kenya branch. Okay, but we thank you still in absentia and all the other guests from the other departments of the university that graced our event today. We also want to thank our incredible facilitator, Moline and Shadi, who was joined us online, and all Mariam and all other facilitators who facilitated our sessions here today. Thank you so much. And our incredible gratitude goes to the one and only Miss Mary Izobo. Miss Mary, please stand. We want to clap. I see you moving. Stand. Oh. Thank you so much for bringing us together for this wonderful forum. Our ICT team, we thank you for the struggles still. Thank you so much. And for the many pictures. If you've not been able to access pictures till now, kindly just scan the QR code all over the room. Scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the pictures from today, since morning. All right, and then now I want to tell us something small about tomorrow. Tomorrow is also going to be an exciting time. The people online, thank you so much for gracing us today. So tomorrow also, please come in numbers. We had over 500 delegates online today. Please clap for them. I know at some point we had technical issues and some of them left, but still we have currently 290 still here with us. Others were sending us messages, complaining their bundles are out, but still some of them were able to hold on up until now. So thank you so much, our online delegation. Thank you so much. We saw you from all over Africa. We had delegates from Egypt, from Ethiopia, from Malawi, from every part of Africa. So thank you so much for gracing our event today. So tomorrow is also going to be an impactful time. We are going to have sessions on still business leadership and management, public leadership and management, and civic leadership and management under the theme still Black Girl. Black Girl. Yes, so also to just encourage all of us to take the evening to rest, rejuvenate, dream about what you had here today, think about it, meditate on it, and also take time to share something online and also with the people that you will meet. And since I love online so much, I want all of us, if you have a phone, please take your phone out right now. If you have a phone, please take it out. Take it out. Go to your camera. Go to your camera, open the selfie, and turn to the neighbor next to you. Gashambi, you're my neighbor, please come. Take a picture. Everyone, you do it exactly as I'm doing it. Everybody, I want to see everyone in a selfie. Everyone in a selfie. Put a big smile and take a selfie with your neighbor. Take another selfie. Do a goofy one. All right, and also for the guys online, please try and do a selfie with your computer. All right, so go to social media, everyone. Go to social media of your choice, either Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, any Facebook social media of your choice, even WhatsApp, and post it there. This is the caption I want you to write. This is the caption I want you to write. Hashtag Black girl, your dreams are valid. Black girl, your dreams are valid. Hashtag the Ali LF 2024. And the Ali is capital T, small e, small h, small h, small e, capital A, capital L, capital I, capital L, capital F. The Ali LF 2024, no space, and then tag, depending on where you are. So if you are on Instagram, we are at the Amazon Leadership Initiative. If you are on TikTok, we are at the Ali Org. If you are on Twitter, we are also at the Ali Org. If you are on, which one have I not mentioned? Facebook, we are at the Amazon Leadership Initiative. Also LinkedIn, the Amazon Leadership Initiative. WhatsApp, we'll create a WhatsApp channel soon. All right, now click send. Click send. Click send. Let me also send mine. Click send. How many? How many? Or post, whichever, depending on where you are. How many have posted something online? How many have posted? Okay, see a few hands. All right, all right. The others? The others, when are you planning on posting? Okay, a few more hands are going up. All right, a few more hands are going up. Others I see are asking, okay, it's the Ali, okay, just search for the Amazon Leadership Initiative on each and every platform, you'll find us. All right, thank you so much. So that is what is called a social media storm. If you want to storm social media by force, that is how you do it, all right? So thank you so much again for gracing our event today. Tomorrow, expect even much, much more. And we have some tea for all of you. So please, before you go home, make sure you take a cup of tea and also know a few more people, socialize, get to know what the other person is doing, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. All right, bye guys. Bye.
Oh my God, who's? Yeah.
Yes, as I mentioned, Miss Mary is just reminding me again to tell you that there's tea and snacks for everyone, and the guest speakers are also still around. Just look for them and get a moment to socialize and network. Thank you so much. Black girl. Black girl. DJ.
Now listen. Before you leave, in case you want to give any feedback, the Amazon Leadership Initiative Leadership is available for feedback. They'll be there. Please give them any feedback. We appreciate and we receive it. Okay? And tomorrow, remember, we meet here at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. My sister Sarabel Odero will be the host tomorrow. My name is Gashambin Dewitu. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. God bless the Ali. God bless Africa.
Tushafikia ni kublast huko ngapata unachukuliwa madam so anguka nao itabaki maflo na vibe anguka nao koko single unao mdaki sinteja patikani hadi late night saa 6 ndo tani wai nikupe location nikofana na hii ukate call niko chomba ya tea mimi najua utakuwa release acha nikushow kwanza form ya Gidon nishashika mpoa na twende chini kwa chini akiwa hadi na mimi leto nasikiza Shin City tuna feel free weka video na post pale NGV jina ni Cantel Guraps in Italian G anguka nao check it anguka nao twende down low now stand up your feet mikono juu alafu click uliza pesa alafu one leg anguka nao one leg anguka nao